Okay. So have you ever like completely lost track of time?
Yeah.
I'm talking like you sit down to, I don't know, maybe pay a couple bills,
Right.
and then like 3 hours later, you realize you've somehow ended up reading about like the history of like rubber bands or something on Wikipedia.
Oh, absolutely.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. All the time.
But that's why today we are doing a deep dive into time management
Mm.
because we could all use a little bit more,
Absolutely.
control over our day,
Yeah,
over our schedules, and maybe even, a little bit more time to like actually relax.
for sure.
So to help us out today, we have an expert on time management.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I guess to kind of kick things off, what is time management?
It's funny because I think a lot of people think of time management as like, having the perfect color-coded planner.
Right.
Or like being able to like cram as much as possible into a single day. But it's really not about that at all. It's really about making conscious choices with your time, understanding that time is a resource,
Oh, okay.
just like your money or your energy.
I like that.
Yeah.
Time is a resource. So is it less about like being a slave to the clock and more about being, I don't know, like the master of your own schedule?
Yeah, exactly. It's about taking control rather than letting the day control you, which can have a huge impact, not just on your productivity,
Right.
but also your stress levels, your work-life balance, all of that.
Right. Because I know for me, like sometimes Sunday night rolls around
Uh-huh.
and I'm just like filled with dread about like the week ahead.
Oh, for sure.
But I think it's easier said than done, right? To actually manage your time.
Right.
Like we all have these classic like time sucks, procrastination,
Oh, yeah.
distractions.
Mm.
Oh, and how ironic is it that like all the devices and apps
Yeah.
that we have now that are supposed to like help us manage our time
Right.
often end up being like the biggest distractions.
Absolutely. It's a total paradox. But the good news is that there are some techniques out there that can help you navigate these challenges.
Okay, I like that. Techniques.
Yeah.
Gimme.
Okay, so the first one is called the Eisenhower Matrix.
All right.
And this is all about figuring out what's truly important versus what's just urgent.
Ooh. Oh, okay. So like instead of just like responding to every email the second it pops up,
Mm.
I can use this matrix to decide like, okay, prepping for this big presentation next week
Right.
is actually way more important than answering that email about the snack schedule.
Exactly.
Huh.
It helps you to like step back, see the bigger picture, and prioritize accordingly. Like imagine a client emails you with a minor issue. You also have a project proposal due that same day.
Okay.
The Eisenhower Matrix would help you to see that focusing on the proposal, while maybe less urgent in the moment,
Hmm.
actually has a much bigger impact on your long-term goals.
Okay, I like that. It's almost like strategically choosing your battles.
Yeah.
I think something that I struggle with a lot is like focusing.
Mm-hmm.
Once I kind of sit down to do work, I get easily like distracted or sidetracked.
Yeah.
Do you have any like tips for staying focused?
Yeah, so this is where the Pomodoro Technique comes in.
Okay.
This kind of like taps into our natural attention spans. So basically you work in focus bursts, usually 25 minutes, and then you take a short break, maybe 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is that these short breaks help to prevent mental fatigue, and they can actually boost your productivity in the long run.
Okay, so instead of like trying to power through for hours and hours and
Right.
ending up like mentally fried,
Yeah.
I'm actually getting more done
Exactly.
by working in these like shorter, more intense bursts,
Right.
and I get a guilt-free break built in. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. Now this next one sounds a bit more, I don't know, structured.
Okay.
Tell me about time blocking.
So time blocking is all about assigning specific blocks of time for certain activities. It's like creating a visual map of your day.
Okay.
So instead of like constantly switching between tasks and feeling scattered,
Right.
you're dedicating, say, 9:00 to 11 a.m. for focused work, then an hour for lunch and emails, and then back to a specific project in the afternoon.
Got it.
And this can really help reduce multitasking
Right.
and improve your overall focus.
Okay, I can see the appeal of that. But what about when like life throws you a curveball?
Mm-hmm.
Like an unexpected meeting pops up,
Sure.
or you get like an urgent request,
Right.
Or honestly, you just like need to take a mental health break.
Oh, absolutely.
Like how do you work that in?
This is where flexibility comes in.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. Things happen. So that's why it's important to build in some buffer time.
Okay.
Don't pack your schedule so tightly that there's no room to breathe. And sometimes, you just have to adjust your blocks.
Okay.
Time blocking's a tool, not prison sentence.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
All right, so before we wrap up, give us one more like golden nugget of time management wisdom.
Okay, this one is like deceptively simple, but it is incredibly effective.
Okay.
It's called the 2-minute rule.
Okay.
Basically, if a task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it right then.
Oh.
Answer that quick email, put away those dishes, file that document, and it prevents those tiny tasks from like snowballing into this huge mountain of to-dos later on.
I love that. It's almost like those little wins throughout the day
Exactly.
really add up.
Yeah.
So I guess to kind of like bring it all home for our listeners today, it sounds like effective time management is really about understanding ourselves, our priorities, and then like using these techniques to create a system that actually works for us.
Exactly. And, if we connect all of this back to you, our listener, the question we want to leave you with is, what's one small change that you can make today to reclaim some of your time and just feel more in control? Maybe try the Pomodoro Technique on a particularly challenging task, or block out just 30 minutes for some focused work.
Okay.
Just experiment and see what works best for you.
Yeah, start small, build those time management muscles.
Exactly.
And before you know it, you'll be the master of your schedule.
Absolutely.
We're cheering you on.
Yes.